Live from Peoria, Arizona, we are at the Regis Suites, and this is The Technologist, starring Robert Rogers. And Robert, how are you?
I'm doing well today, thank you.
This is good. You said there was a lot of motorcycle police officers out.
Yes,
I don't
are.
know what that means, but you had some guesses. Make sure you drive safely.
Drive safely today, everyone.
Even every day, drive safely.
Yes, every day. The other thing I noticed was they had on the highway notification billboard. They said 2 deaths have happened this month so far. So everyone drive safely.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, those guys work hard to keep our roads in operable condition, and we have really great roads here.
In fact, here's a trivia question for you, Robert and Greg. What movie said "Don't drink and dial"? It's a great movie, my favorite, maybe almost of all time. Don't drink and dial. I'll give you the context. This guy was
the Heartbreak Kid?
No, he was divorced. He was having dinner with his friend and 2 young ladies. First date, sort of a double date, and he was thinking about his ex-wife. And he is someone that is a connoisseur in wine and had a little bit too much wine.
Oh, Sideways.
Yes, Sideways.
Paul Giamatti.
And he came back and he looked unhappy because his wife got married. His ex-wife got married, and his friend said, "Did you drink and dial?"
Yes.
So I thought that was a cool scene. One of my favorite movies, actually, of all time.
Yes.
Yes, a rousing ovations. Did you see that movie?
I did see the movie.
Did you like it?
I barely remember that part.
But you like
Yes,
the movie?
yes.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Okay, so anyway, The Technologist. How do you describe yourself? Because I talk about you all the time at networking that you are so unique in what you know. It's like you blow everyone away. I mean, there's IT people. I'm sure they're good. They can repair, they can maintain. But they are limited in what they know. And it's not their fault. It's just what it is. But you seem to know so much. And if you don't know the answer, you know there's an issue that exists. And that's talent. Like as a CPA, I might not know a particular answer or solution, but I know there's an issue that I can have a solution for. I just have to find it. But recognizing issues is critical. So how do you describe? Yeah. I mean, that's really the key.
Playing with all sorts of technology as I was growing up. Whether it's building electronic circuits, playing with crystal radios, building robots. Wanting to automate these robots. So I need to learn how the motors work and power controls, and how to automate things, and then computers came on the scene, and it's like, hey, you can actually give a whole list of instructions to this computer, and it can do things for you. And
wow, what's interesting. So I was up at San Jose for the Stanley Cup Final, for our sports show on NBC Sports Radio, and so the first time ever I took a Lyft, Uber, Lyft,
yes,
and I think it's spelled Lyft actually. So I took it. It's cool. So I've done it 3 times now. All in San Jose. It's a pretty cool deal. Quite a bit less than cabs, a lot more comfortable, a lot more convenient and efficient. And so Lyft, this one last Lyft guy said, Uber is pouring a lot of money into driverless cars.
Yes.
And I go, what? What is a driverless car? He says, it's going to be putting us out of business, the drivers, not Uber or Lyft.
Well, just think about the trucks.
Yeah. So what is that? Do you know much about that?
Well,
that's not the topic today. But
that's not the topic. But I know Google here in the Valley, they're hiring monitors for $20 an hour to sit in a driverless car in Chandler.
And they do it in San Francisco now, San Jose.
Yeah.
They said the Silicon Valley. They're all testing these things, so you can occasionally see these things on the road. How the heck can that be possible? Is it
because it's possible. The technology is here now.
But how did the
traffic modeling has been done for the past 40 years. We knew this was coming at some point.
But so there's a computer that can see and anticipate and drive safely?
Well, I think what the convergence point is the processing power. because we always knew that, you can have a car drive on a track. So now these are trackless cars. And then what are the rules of the road? Well, you have to know, the car in front of you, behind you, the lights, what's the light state,
But what if someone doesn't brake and the brake lights, or they're broken, and so...
Well, that's part of the challenge and response algorithm of what the car is doing. And with the computing power that we have today and the power requirements, it's economical to do so.
Wow. I mean, to me, it's mind-blowing. I go, wow, is that amazing? They'll put the cab companies out of business.
Yeah.
And Uber's pouring tons of money into it now.
Yeah.
Lyft, I don't know. It didn't sound like they were, but they better if they want to stay around.
Yeah.
Although, would you prefer someone live is the question.
Well, it's going to end up being Johnny Cab from Total Recall.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember that. I saw part of that the other night, actually.
Yep.
I saw it because Sharon Stone, she's a beauty. However, so it is possible. And so do you think at some point we all will have driverless cars? It'll be like our chauffeur, and we'll just hop in the seat and we'll say, drive here?
I believe in our next generation, we're going to see, driverless cars becoming more mainstream.
Wow.
I mean, just imagine cell phone technology 20 years ago.
Well, that's true. It's dramatically changed.
Yes, everyone has one now. And the technologists then were saying everyone will have a number that will follow them around. And you will have one cable coming to your home supplying you with all your information and entertainment.
Think of also the other implications, how it will change other aspects of the culture. For example, when you have driverless cars, what happened to the legal system in itself will have to go through some type of structural change or modifications.
I believe that's
right.
That's the baby steps that they're taking right now.
I mean, so it's one computer against another saying, no, you made the,
But the statisticians for the insurance companies, they want this. They want driverless cars.
They do.
Yes. Because who's at fault for driving? The drivers.
So if
you have driverless cars following the rules of the road,
no one would be at fault.
No one would be at fault, and people would arrive on time.
And if there is an accident, is it the latest, greatest technology? Whoever has that wins. I mean, you see
we don't know yet.
See, that's a legal system.
That is the legal system. But
and the insurance will change too. Maybe the insurance goes down. I doubt that, but in theory it should, right? It should.
Yeah.
Because then you in theory you're not going to have as many accidents.
It's going to cover if you own a car, then they'll probably add some sort of policy as far as maintenance or something.
Yeah. Wow, it's fascinating. So it's not that far away, evidently.
It really isn't. But if you look at the city planners and the insurance companies, they're the ones that want this.
Huh.
They've said so from the get-go. If people were to just follow the speed limit and the traffic light patterns, because the city planners, are educated,
then it would be okay.
All the traffic would flow fine, but you always have the people going a little bit under or a little bit over,
right,
or being distracted. Then there's your traffic jam.
Amazing.
And then it's a domino effect.
Wow. So it's definitely the thing of the future. What happens to the drivers? They'll be unemployed. I mean, where do they go, you think? I mean, what? That's another issue.
That's another issue.
Eventually, are we all going to be replaced? And what do?
And we live a life of like Logan's Run. Everyone just has fun, and
so how do you earn money? I mean, they dole out money and say, go on vacation and don't come back.
You own a robot that earns for you.
Oh, that's the tech.
That's the technology.
So we got to get our.
So then you're going to have all these ride-sharing companies sharing cars.
Right.
I don't need a car. I can just call such and such to take me to work, take me to the store, and whoever owns that car will be the one making the money.
Oh, I got it. So you got to think now and start investing in the future. Wow. Although they did say that about CPAs, with computers, and I don't think it affected much.
No.
It's As long as Congress is so wacky and they make these weird tax laws and make it so confusing, it doesn't seem to work out.
Can we have Congress
exchange for
Well, can we have
robots?
Congress run by robots?
I think we can.
We have the set of rules.
Yeah.
And it's as easy as...
I want a Donald
Yes.
robot. No. Wouldn't that be... let's start when he was a kid and see if he was a rebel at all. But, yeah, it's certainly going to change. I guess, I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad. I know one thing I don't like about technology is the automated systems. Press 1 if you want this person.
Yeah.
And eventually it goes on so long that you forget why you called.
And it's, voice recognition is pretty, it's free consumer grade, great quality today.
Yeah.
You can get a Google Voice account. You can have it transcribe your voice message to you, have it text you those messages, and it's about 80% correct, 80, 90% correct.
Oh, wow. So it's getting better.
Yeah,
Dragon was one of them, right?
Yeah, Dragon was one of the first.
Is it still going? Or?
I doubt it. Not with
I don't think it worked.
Apple doing it for free and Microsoft doing it for free.
Oh, they
and
are.
Google doing it for free now.
Wow. Well, this was our general technology open forum segment of the show. Yeah, we should probably do that because there's so much going on.
Yes.
I mean, phenomenal. But today's topic is what? About the ads and the ad blockers and
just ad technology in general. It's like, man, where are we being? How are we being tracked? What's the deal with ads? I mean, we're used to them, we see them, but what's the history behind them? And why? What if I don't want to see them? What if I, what if they look obnoxious? What if I'm tired of hearing these commercials for things that I don't care on my websites?
And there could be,
and I can't turn them off, and they're annoying. And then all of a sudden, I hear a dog or a cat barking on the same ad like 20 minutes later, and it makes me not want to visit that website anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. And not only that, what if they're really not ads or fake ads just to get your information?
Or what if
is that a problem?
What if it's a payload mechanism to actually deliver, bad content?
So it's so there's problems there. So take us back. When did this all start? I think I can guess that people saw an opportunity to make some money, right, or sell their services by having ads on the internet, on websites.
Yes,
is my guess.
Well, if you go back to the beginning, the whole concept of HTML, hypertext markup, which is what a web page
That's
is.
what that means. I never knew that. HTML.
Yeah, hypertext markup language. It's a language used by the Air Force for instruction manuals.
Oh.
So they
it's sophisticated?
Well, that's where one of the needs for HTML came from.
Oh, okay.
And then DARPA came out with the internet connectivity network. And
did you ever wish you invented the internet?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. You could have. Or how about Facebook? Ever think of that
Facebook
growing up?
would have been great too. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
But if you look about who would have been the one for this and that, if you look at two big failures I see of the internet versus old media.
Yeah.
One was Sears. Sears could have been the Amazon because they already had the catalog system, they had the warehousing, they had the distribution, they had the products, and Amazon just came in and ate their lunch because Sears did not adapt quickly enough.
Really?
And then the next thing was the Yellow Pages. Where are the Yellow Pages now? They're dead. They're
That's
dead.
such a joke.
The Yellow Pages are dead.
And only about 2 years ago, they still had those stupid books.
Yeah.
Whoever uses those stupid books?
Yeah, and I
mean, I think it wasn't a client of mine, but it was going to be a client, and they actually signed up for the Yellow Pages in the books 2 years ago. I go, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? And it was expensive.
Like $10,000 or a month or something like that.
So they felt they should have immediately gone to online stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, they should have seen that. Both those companies should have seen the writing on the wall, but they just didn't.
And boom,
they didn't hire
done.
young people that could see it. They didn't listen.
I think they're online now, though. I just met someone, I think.
Well, Sears is online.
But
Sears could have put Amazon out of business.
Yeah, and they just didn't have the smarts. They
didn't have the smarts.
Vision?
They didn't have the vision. They didn't have the smarts.
Wow.
Because Amazon surely had the drive.
Amazing. And now
they're bigger than Sears is. They sold their tower.
Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
That was famous in Chicago, right?
Yeah, it's still the Sears Tower to me.
Yeah, what do they call it now?
Willis Tower?
Willis? Who the heck is Willis?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. What are you talking about, Willis? Yeah. That was good. Wow, that was funny. Yeah, it is amazing. And then, not to get off topic, but Facebook, they had MySpace. I never used it. Then Facebook. Is there something that will someday knock off Facebook? It's something better? Or do you think Facebook's smart enough to keep ahead of the curve?
Well, Facebook has the older generation and the current generation using it.
Oh,
and it has a value for social media, so that it has a current value right now.
So you don't think something will come about?
Your teenage kids aren't using it as much because their parents are on it, but as they hit the adult market and they need that social connectivity for business, there's still that value there.
So you don't think there'll be? I mean, things like Snapchat, Instagram, they seem to have made right.
Well, that's where the 13-year-old market is. I mean, of course, other adults use it too, but
Twitter,
the 13-year-olds is who's using it.
Oh, Snapchat.
Yes. Because it's quick and fun, and the value is instantaneous. It's not,
and then it disappears
it's not long
forever.
Term. Yeah, it's not long term.
Disappears forever.
No, it's just a messaging mechanism.
Oh, that's it. So it's like instant messaging.
Yes,
but not
under the brand of Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat.
Twitter was instant messaging under the brand of Twitter.
Is that going to stay around? You think?
I don't know, but probably.
Oh, yeah. I think
people see a value in it. So
yeah. Interesting.
Apparently, companies like to use it because it allows them to directly engage with the client.
Wow. So, okay. So back to ads.
Yeah. So let's say so we have the internet now, and we have web pages. And I remember when web pages, you could go to these websites and go to the web pages, and old media was saying, "Oh no, there's no money in that because." We know that's probably the future because that's what they were saying back in the 1890s.
1890s?
Yeah, you have all those, visions of the future, and you have...
Back to the Future, of course.
The 1890s, you have your big tube radio machine, and you could get your newspaper printed off that.
Yeah.
That would be the newspaper.
I remember.
And then when
coffee and
when TV... or projection technology was coming around and people were going to movies. It's like, hey, we can get the newspaper projected on a screen at home, and here we are.
Much better.
100 years later, we're doing it.
Environmentalists love that.
Well, it's still...
No more cutting the trees.
But electronics are still toxic.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Yeah. And
we're far from it.
Yeah. So it started back then.
Yeah, so old media, we make money by selling ads. So until the ad mechanisms, can provide us with a profit, then we'll see about it. So Amazon, again, with vision, saying, well, we'll start putting ads up. We'll put ads on websites, and we can start tracking them, and we can see what people are looking at, and then we can deliver those products in front of them, and if they click on those ads, then they'll come to our website and buy them. So Sears could have been there, but
but they didn't.
But they didn't.
Difference between great vision and no vision.
So Amazon, if you go to Amazon's webpage, without you even buying anything from them, they already know what you've been looking at.
Wow!
Through this ad tracking.
So they're huge.
Yeah, they're huge.
So how about Walmart? Did they miss the boat?
No, they're a big part of the boat, but they're only there to serve themselves.
That's right. I've heard that. But are they online? I mean, are they big online?
Yeah, they're big online.
All right, so they're positioning themselves.
Yes.
Okay, and then so they found a way to generate revenue, but also get major recognition, right? Major exposure, I would think.
Well, true. So if you remember, or maybe not, a lot of newspapers then used to have an online version.
That's right.
But in order to get the online version, you had to have a subscription in some markets.
And now you don't.
You had
right?
you had to pay for the subscription, and then you get a username and login.
Or you can read the first paragraph.
You can read the first paragraph,
and then you got to sign up.
And I remember one of I used to live in Georgia. I used to read the big paper, the Arizona Journal-Constitution, and that was free because that's a big guy. Then we also had the Marietta Daily Journal. That one wasn't free. You had to pay for the online access for it.
So what is it now? You can get almost anything
Just
online?
Just about anything. Yeah, there used to be.
Do you have to pay?
Well, it depends on the market.
Okay.
But they're all being absorbed anyway.
Yeah. Eventually it's just going to be online.
Yeah, and even here in the Valley, you could get like 3 free views a day before you had to pay.
The Republic?
The Republic, yes.
Yeah. That.
I don't know what it is now, but
yeah, I'm not sure.
But anyway, knowing the need for ad revenue, all these ad networks have developed. Google was one of the big, proponents for that, and they had their AdSense mechanism where you could take a line of code, and they would feed ads to your website. And then you had a lot of copycats that would say, hey, we can deliver more ads that would pay you more money if you put our ads on there. So people would have Google AdSense ads, and they would have some of these other fly-by-night ads on your site. And it's like, hey, if you have a website about DUI, because that was the number one search term keyword.
Oh.
If you had a website about DUI, we'll feed DUI ads, and DUI attorneys pay top dollar for those ads. And if your website gets so many visits a day and you get so many ad impressions, you can make, $500 a day easy just on ad revenue.
Interesting. So they'd place ads, let's say, on a DUI website that was funded by attorneys, and if you click that, it would give a list of attorneys.
Well, it didn't even need to be funded by attorneys. It could be a average Joe talking about DUIs, about his personal experience with DUIs. I know a guy who did it. He had a DUI experience, and then he wrote a website listing DUI attorneys in 50 states. He put ads on there, and he was making $500 a day.
Oh, man. See, not bad. So it evolved that way, and so people started figuring out ways to make money. The consumers, did they like it? Did they go, what's this?
So let's talk about the publisher. So your average Joe has a website, and then all of a sudden the AdSense revenue starts to drop. So what do? Hey, this other ad revenue company wants to put their code on your site. We'll deliver relevant ads to your website, and you can make more money. So let's start adding their content to my website. I don't care about the website anymore, but people still visit it.
Wow.
So then all of a sudden you have ads from Google, ads from provider A, ads from provider B, ads from provider C, because why not? I'll just load up my site with ads. I don't care anymore. I'm making money.
So the whole website would be full of
ads,
and so you go and
then in order to stand out, ads would be designed to be obnoxious and what I call flea market type. You would have harsh, white and pink, flashing, animated, obnoxious ads.
You'd think you're downtown in a downtown city or Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And then you know what? I'm tired of looking at ads. All these websites I go to have all these junky ads. They look horrible. The code is catasquonkus, so it covers up the content I want to read.
Oh.
So people would write ad blocking tools for the web browsers.
So a counter ad.
Counter ad.
Or an anti.
Yeah, anti-ad. So people would then adhere to those, and then they wouldn't see ads anymore. It's like, hey, the web is nice again.
What did the advertisers do? Did they go, hey, that's not fair?
Well, a lot of people don't really know about the ad blocking mechanisms.
Oh.
or they didn't then, and now they've gone through certain iterations. And so it really wasn't that much of a big of a deal. When it became a big deal, then they started to put up these notices that saying, hey, we really survive by ads. If you turn off your ad block for our site, we promise not to spam you with ads.
Oh, really?
And for the most part, that was pretty much followed, because the reason why people use ad block is because the ads were spammy. They just looked awful. They were, they covered up the content. Like if you ever notice Facebook and you see your friends liking these pages that are like one-up pages, it's like, 10 reasons why, and you'll never guess reason number 3.
Right.
You ever go there and there's 20 ads or more on the web page? It's like you see one paragraph of content, you see ads to the left, right, 2 ads below, then another paragraph, and then 2 more ads below. It's just nothing but ads.
No fun.
No fun at all. And
unless you like Home Shopping Network.
Exactly.
Then it might be fun. What should I buy now? I knew someone like that.
Some people really get into...
It's not what they need. It's sort of like, there's a... They almost sense it's free in a way, and they go, yeah, my...
I could see me with that.
Really? Just sitting around and buying stuff?
I know someone who is a chronic shopper.
Wow.
On TV shopping.
I did too. It wasn't. They had an inventory. It was literally an inventory for 5 years, for Christmas, for every holiday. They almost had to have a warehouse to be able to store this inventory. Of course, it became obsolete, a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
But I think it's pretty popular.
Well, yeah, they're still
evidently
around.
There was a movie out recently. I saw.
Was it really?
What was that? The founder or the person that put it on the map? The Home Shopping Club. I can't remember the movie. It was actually a fairly well done movie. I think I have to check that out. Oh, maybe Greg could check that out and see what movie was about the founder who really started the Home Shopping Club movement, or the Home Shopping Network.
I think they started in like 83.
Yeah, and it is actually quite a big hit, actually. Mm-hmm. And it was someone that made a mop, actually, and she was the queen of home shopping. So, we'll figure that out. It was about 8 months ago, maybe a year ago.
Before that, it was catalog,
the
little ads in all the magazines.
But people wanted bigger, faster, and quicker.
Yeah.
And that's how it worked.
Cable TV was the place.
So there was ads, so that kept going. So it hit TV, too, in a little bit, to a certain extent. It's always been on TV. But
the ads that people were blocking were equivalent of the loud Toyota dealer ad where they were like, hey, you won't believe the deals we're giving, and you come buy a car today, you'll get some sausage.
Yeah.
Those types of ads.
Once again, like Vegas or downtown.
Exactly. The big, ugly, flashing, and then the ones that have they use flash technology with rich animation and sounds.
And it drew people.
Yeah, and it
like
drew
a
people.
moth
Yeah,
to
and
a light.
everybody saw those ads, and everybody wanted those ads, and they started getting the ads produced and putting them on the ad networks, and all of a sudden they're everywhere, and then all of a sudden your website is inundated with all these ads that just don't fit.
So that's where, and then ad blockers start. So developers start making things to block these ads.
Yes.
By consumer demand, I suspect.
I think it was more personal demand.
Okay.
I seem to remember, hey, I'm tired of seeing these ads, so I wrote this ad blocker. If you guys want to use it, here it is. I remember seeing that a long time ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So I know I have a thing called malware bites. Is that malware is the word for ads? Is that what it is?
Well, no. Ads. Some of these fly-by-night ad networks, they don't really have a sophisticated tech staff that can keep their vulnerabilities, at bay, and so they could get hijacked as what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack.
Oh, how does that work?
So, you have your computer, and then you make a request to a web server. The web server sends you a page, and on the page it has code that comes from the web server, and then it also has code that comes from the ad provider. So the ad provider has, videos, coding,
bunch of stuff.
scripts that log, username, not user, screen size, computer type. They get all those metrics of, what kind of Amazon products are they buying, kind of thing. And they can spoof that content being fed to your computer because of lack of security, expiration of certificates. There's a whole number of reasons. Or maybe even their own content servers were hacked, which is probably the easiest. And then they feed their own ads, which aren't the ads that someone has paid for. So let's just say you're the La Quinta and you're paying for ads to be sent. You want 1,000 impressions. But, the hacker in Romania has hacked the site that serves the ads.
Hillary's site, right?
It could be. So they hack the ad site. So the ad guy is sending 1,000 impressions, but they're not of La Quinta. La Quinta gets dinged for the 1,000 impressions, and what gets sent instead is book here for a free night stay at La Quinta. You click the ad, and all of a sudden you're downloading a payload for something that will, start logging your keystrokes on your computer because the mechanism that can detect what browser version you're running, what plugins version you're running, has been checked against what vulnerabilities exist, and then they have these exploits that can then run that quick on your machine.
And the purpose is to hack the machine?
It's to get a zombie machine, yes.
What's a zombie machine?
Zombie machine is when a hacker network has a bot called a botnet to do its bidding.
Oh, to get revenue for other people put ads on
Well,
machine.
let's just say I'm going to use this computer and I'm going to use 1 gig of its storage or 500 megabytes or even 100 megabytes. I'm going to use it as a file sharing network. So they'll have some files on it, and then they can. I'll have this machine send out 100 emails a day or 1,000 emails a day. I'll have this machine. I'll start logging keystrokes on this machine, and I'll see what kind of credit card information I get off of it.
Oh, wow. So
that's what a zombie machine is.
How would you know if you have that on your machine?
You have to keep up your antivirus and malware.
So the virus would detect it usually?
They're usually about 2 weeks behind, if not longer now, nowadays.
Oh, wow.
With some of the recent stuff.
Yeah. Man, that is... So you type in a password or a username, whatever, to a certain, like a bank, they can pick that off?
Well, if they're getting screen scrapes and keyboard strokes, yes.
How's the keyboard? What does the keyboard strokes do? Well, how do you?
Well, every time you hit a keystroke on your keyboard, it's known as an interrupt.
Oh.
So your computer is running through, 3 billion cycles a second.
Oh.
Okay, and then the keyboard is a keyboard and the mouse are 2 interrupts. So when you hit a keyboard, it actually interrupts one of those cycles.
Right.
So that interrupt is logged, and then it is captured after so many bytes, and then it is sent to an external location.
And they'll analyze it.
That's what a keystroke logger does.
And they'll be able to tell?
Oh, yeah.
Man, that's... I mean, it's scary.
It is scary.
So,
well, even employers are logging or using keystroke loggers.
For what?
Keeping track of employees.
Man,
they have little dongles that fit on the keyboards.
What's a dongle?
It's a little plug that fits in between the keyboard and the USB port, and it logs the keystrokes and it sends it to the manager, and the manager can tell what employee is going to what websites.
Wow!
It can extrapolate what they're typing in, what they're what is work related, what is not work related.
And so that's becoming more common.
That's been common for 20 years.
Oh. And people actually use it to monitor?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I know they have it, certain industries have a lot of trucks out there, like water restoration companies or alarm companies, and they have tracking devices on trucks. I used to have a client that owned one of the bigger alarm companies out here in Arizona, And he would say, look, I could track, look on my computer. I know where every truck is.
Mm-hmm.
You see this truck here? I go, yeah, he's getting fired. He's not even close where he's supposed to be. So that's interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of that is, wow, just so much you can do with technology. So the ads, and I read some articles where there's some giants out there. I mean, the LA Times, there's a group that certainly want ads, and there's others that want to have ad blockers.
I think the biggest high-profile cases of this cycle is Forbes. Forbes is one of the first when they drew the line. They're saying if you have an ad blocker on there, we're not going to ask you to turn it off. We're going to just not let you come to the website at all.
Oh, really?
So the ad blocker said, all right, fine. Go ahead. We don't want to come to your website then.
So how did that impact Forbes?
So then the impact was, the banter back and forth was, Forbes is saying, no, you're not coming to the website. So then, some developers said, okay, well, we're just going to see how bad your website is. Because Forbes says, hey, our site really isn't that bad. And so the developer said, hey, you know what? Forbes' website really isn't that bad. And then all of a sudden the ads got hacked, and then their website was delivering malware.
Oh.
So there's the case for the ad block, against Forbes.
Oh, man. So what happened?
Well, so now Forbes is still saying, well, then if you don't want to pay, if essentially you don't want to look at the ads on our website, then you're not going to get our content.
What do they sell, by the way?
Well, they're
they're
a
financial thing.
They're the financial
magazine.
magazine.
Okay. I was thinking, yeah, that's right. I was thinking a little differently about that, where so what you're saying, they had legitimate ads.
Yes.
That's what you're saying. And they said, if you want to read our financial commentaries or whatever it is, you're going to have to put up with ads.
Yes.
Okay.
And then so when
I thought they started selling stuff, but
no. So
they were selling.
They're selling their content.
Yeah, they were generating revenue from advertisers.
Yes, and then
Gotcha.
So the developers said the ads really aren't so bad, but oh, by the way, you're delivering malware on your ads.
And then they still don't care.
Yeah, they still don't care. They fixed the hack. Good on them. They did their job, but they're still saying, we can't let you in for free.
Well, he won't run for president again, right?
No.
Remember, he's still
right.
around, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember he's sort of one of the billionaire group that considered it, along with, Michael Bloomberg, too. But he's not going to run this time.
We'll see if a third party is going to want to
run.
run.
Well, actually, you're right. Maybe it's possible.
It's still early for third party.
Yeah, actually, you're right about that. It could happen. So that's what happened. So these are some giants that are battling it out, but I'm sure the ad blockers are getting sophisticated. And
well, there was another giant that drew their line in the sand, and that was the New York Times.
Oh, what did they do?
New York Times says, "Hey guys, we're print media. We're online as well, and we make our living by ads. If you don't want to view our ads, then you're not going to view our content, period. End of story."
Wow.
So then a developer said, all right, let me just see how bad your ads are. So you know how bad their ads are? A typical web page content is about 100K. Okay, it could be less than that, but with all this scripting and whatnot was on there, it's about 100K. You can actually optimize the site for half that. So case in point against New York Times delivered 75 megabytes of ad content upon viewing. So you're looking at 100K of content and paying for 700 megabytes of transfer. So if you're paying by the gigabyte for
I gotcha. Yeah.
that kind of content,
you're paying for 3/4 of nonsense.
If you're looking at 10 pages, that's 75. That's almost a gig in traffic, and most of that is ads. So you are paying for ad delivery to your browser
rather than morning milk or newspaper delivery.
That's right.
So what you're saying is that what I'm surmising from this is that Forbes, New York Times, etc., they are making big money from ads on their website. Then, if they
that's their income model.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. But
when it gets excessive,
yeah, New York Times is excessive in the ads. 75 megabytes is huge.
Yeah. Wow.
You have to have a broadband connection in order to view the New York Times.
So where will this all? I mean, is there a happy medium? Is someone going to come up with something completely unknown right now to solve this issue, or if left?
Well, ads are here to stay. They're not going away anywhere.
Yeah, probably not.
They're not. I think
it's just a type ad, the cleanup, the reasonableness of it. How
many? You have to have someone with design background to manage it, and someone who knows color palettes and white space and how to design an ad and the technical know-how. You need to have a good tech team behind the ad delivery mechanism so that they're not hacked.
Well, is this considered short-term greed by Forbes and New York Times? Because after all,
it's cyclical. I mean, we see these every now and then. So
doesn't that kill themselves
these
eventually?
are the two big giants. Well, I think the number of people using Adblock is so small.
It is.
Yes, because most people don't really know what a browser is.
So
they just say internet, get me on the internet, and they don't know the difference between.
How do you define a browser then?
Well, the browser is the tool you use to access web pages.
Yeah. Like Explorer,
Internet Explorer,
Chrome,
which is dead.
Firefox. It's a goner?
Yeah, it's a goner. It's now Edge.
It's now Edge?
Yeah, Windows 10. Has
Edge. Yeah, I can't get Windows 10 on this machine for some reason.
You have Windows 10 on that machine.
I do?
It looks like it.
No, I don't know. I think we tried and so it didn't matter.
Edge, there's Chrome, there's Firefox. There is Opera, which was one of the first.
You mean Oprah or Opera?
Opera. It's a Norwegian company.
Oh, not Oprah.
No, not Oprah. They were always they were kings in the mobile market from the get-go.
Oh.
But now they have to compete now with the masses.
Incredible. So a browser just gets you to where you want to go on the internet, basically.
Yeah, it's your navigation on. Well, the Netscape Navigator was one of the first browsers.
Yeah. How about Safari?
Yeah, that's probably the most popular one.
Yeah, that's I don't have that.
And I say that because I have a lot of websites where Safari is the number one browser.
Interesting, really.
And it is the mobile market.
I have it on my phone, actually. So at some point, see what I'm thinking is if consumers get either they can't get on the website because they have their they have the ad blockers or it's just full of ads. Eventually, if enough people don't go on the website, what do the New York Times and Forbes do? They may not have the ability to generate that revenue anymore. So they're killing off their own business potentially, right?
That's definitely down the line, but I think they have vision enough to know that that's not a threat right now.
Yeah. That's what Sears said, though.
The ad block, the people using Adblock is probably so small compared to their viewership that it's.
Do you recommend Adblock?
I only recommend it if you're annoyed by ads.
I
don't necessarily recommend Adblock because you sometimes you see good ads and my Adblock I only block sites that have the obnoxious ads.
So Malwarebytes, is that an ad block or is
that's just a
tool to find malicious?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't think I have ad block either then. So it is small.
Yeah, there's Adblock, Adblock Plus, and uBlock.
Wow. So there's a little bit of a market out there.
There is.
Yeah. So I guess then New York Times and Forbes may live another day.
So here's another instance where people use Adblock is YouTube. So how many times do you have to watch a 15-second video and there's a 30-second ad in front of it?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, you get the ad fine, but then for some reason the video doesn't come through. And then you refresh and you have to watch another 30-second ad.
The ad again.
And then you still want to see this little cat do this little somersault.
Yeah.
And, for 15 seconds.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yeah, it says usually you can close this ad out in 10 seconds or something. A lot of them.
Oh, yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
But you get the ads that start, then you get the ads that pop up from the bottom.
It's
and
annoying.
now what I've started to see now is ads that scroll in from the right side that take up 39% of the screen.
Oh, jeez.
39%.
So clever. People are becoming clever over this.
Well, that's YouTube trying to throw ads in there.
Anyway, see, that's why I was saying I wonder if this is short-term greed or not. But I guess I guess time will tell. But knowing how the culture thinks, everything seems short-term out here. There's very few companies looking long-term strategically, except other parts of the world. Some of them do look generations ahead. That's something maybe this culture needs to learn a little bit more of. But with everything fast and furious, I don't know. That short-term income looks good to the executives that make that makes the dollars. And do you feel the burn yet? No, maybe not. So we're going to have to do something about that. Wow. So this is another great episode of the Technologist.
Technologist, yes.
Do you like that name?
I guess so. That's what I do.
Exactly. I like it.
I do technology.
I can't wait for the TV show.
It's coming.
Yeah, I like
it.
It's going to be cool. So Robert, is there any contact information you want to give out, or any other information you'd like people to know?
You can listen to me here, or phone number 480-382-2629.
Excellent.
And my email is robert@rogersdirect.com.
Excellent. And, of course, here is on breakradioshow.com. Under Archives, look for, let's see, is it under Technologist?
Technology.
Technology, I think it is.
People don't look for technologists. You want the keyword to be like technology.
It sounds like a doctor. I have to go to the technologist today.
Well, that's what we do. I solve problems.
Yes, you do, and find great solutions, no doubt. Robert, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next month we'll have another exciting topic for sure.
Yes.
And listen, occasionally we have you on 1480 AM KPHX. We're going to pick another time because I think this is stuff people want to hear.
Yes.
No question. All right, this is Breakthrough Thinking Broadcasting Network signing off. Everyone have a great day.